All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Queen Anne's County Commissioners meeting. This is a public meeting that is being aired live on our local cable television station, QACTV 7. These media broadcasts provide county citizens an opportunity to watch and review our scheduled public meetings. In addition to our live audience this evening, we are providing remote options for citizens to watch and participate in county commissioner meetings. Citizens may watch our meeting live on our website at qac.org/live or on our public access governmental television channel provided by Breezeline Cable Services. Citizens may also participate by joining the live Zoom meeting by going to qac.org/public comment, and citizens may also email comments to publiccomment@qac.org. All comments received will be summarized during the press and public comment period on tonight's agenda. We acknowledge everyone's participation, and by attending, you acknowledge that this session is both recorded and aired. Press and public comment will be taken and is limited to 3 minutes per person. If you do care to speak, please sign up at the information table in our lobby. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing for the Commissioner's review. We will now stand and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commission President Chris Corcorino.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, that brings us to the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting. So our meeting, November 18th, the agenda for tonight, along with the regular session minutes from October 28th, have all been circulated for review. Do we have any additions or corrections?
Yes, motion to add one additional action desk item to tonight's agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And a motion to approve tonight's amended agenda and the regular minutes as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Okay, so we just held a closed session under the General Provisions Article, Section 3305B1 for personnel, boards and commissions, Section 3305B7 to consult with counsel, Section 3305B3 to discuss land acquisition, and Section 3305B8 to discuss potential litigation. No decisions were made in closed session tonight. So that brings us to press and public comment. So we appreciate all citizens for taking time to express views to the county commissioners. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing, and this commission respects your desire and right to convey your message freely. When you come forward, please speak clearly at the standing microphone, which will be here momentarily, and state your name, your address, and your topic of interest. And in keeping with the dignity of our office, we ask that all views be expressed in a respectful and civil manner.
All right, number one, we have Tara Corsi and Jennifer Moore. Do you guys want to come up together or separate? All right.
Good evening. We wanted to take this time to invite you, the town and the county, to an upcoming event. We will be hosting the Smithsonian Museum on Main Street event. We once did it back during COVID, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity to do community outreach, and we hope to do more of that this time. This is going to be sponsored by the Smithsonian. They bring a rural exhibit out to around the entire country, and we're going to be hosting it. It's called Spark, Places of Innovation. So we're working with the entire county, different organizations to show how things have progressed in our county. It could be people, places, and things that you're going to see, and Tara will tell you more about that. It is sponsored locally by Maryland Humanities. So they are our local representative who's going to be helping us with the exhibit. That exhibit will be hosted at Kennard African American History Museum right outside of town. And it's going to be open on Thursdays and Fridays from
10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
10 to 8, and on the weekends from 10 to 2. The event starts on Saturday, November 29th at 10 a.m. and will conclude on January 11th. So we have a six-week period that we'll have the event open at Kennard, along with a map that shows everyone where they can go see events all throughout the county.
Good evening. I'm Tara Corsi. I'm the director at Kennard. Just to piggyback off what Jennifer said, Kennard is actually going to roll out its own exhibit during the main Smithsonian exhibit. Mr. McLaughlin, you were there. You know we've already highlighted our Black watermen, and that will be the feature of our exhibit and companion with the Smithsonian exhibit. It's Through Ebony Eyes, the evolution of Black watermen, past, present, and future. Also through this process of bringing the museum here, we've had the opportunity to visit several folks in different towns, different communities, to try to engage them to contribute their own stories of innovation. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that through the process of the 6 week, and it can also roll into the 250 for next year as well. We sent over the press release. Thanks for sharing, and we invite you all out on November 29th.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Awesome, Ms. Tara.
And we just had one request before we leave.
Sure.
Part of what we're trying to do is have host sites for any exhibits or information that we can put out. So if someone doesn't have a place to host an exhibit, what would it take, or could we use the lobby downstairs for either a poster to advertise the event, or possibly as a host site if someone has a small set of banners or things that they might want to post in the county building?
I would say reach out to Todd Mon during the week, and he'll help you out. If we can't do it here, maybe there's another building, but.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jay Falstad, Queen Anne's Conservation Association. I couldn't make the last meeting, so I wanted to come tonight. But at the last meeting, I think you all recognized Donna Landis Smith, and on behalf of Queen Anne's Conservation Association, we also wanted to acknowledge this amazing achievement. For those in the county that don't know, 40% of all of our rural lands are now in permanent preservation. And so this is a very big deal because it's the first county in the state of Maryland that has reached that goal. It's a huge achievement, and we're rapidly marching on towards 50%, I hope, and beyond that. So I just wanted to acknowledge Donna's good work. Joe, who I know is behind me, has got some big shoes to fill, but I'm confident he'll also be able to make those goals. Secondly, Commissioners, I just wanted to raise another issue with you, just very quickly. Since the Farmers Alliance for Rural Maryland had started last year, I've gotten calls from around the country from residents expressing concerns about data centers, solar panels, power lines, and battery storage units. There is something that has started to occur just within the last few months that I wanted to make you all aware of. And that is that these companies that are driving these projects are asking county commissions and planning commissions to sign non-disclosure agreements. I hope that our county will not go down that road. The business of the public should always be held in public, and having these companies ask you guys to sign non-disclosure agreements really does erode the public trust. Some counties, particularly a couple in Minnesota, have signed those non-disclosure agreements. They're now finding themselves in big trouble with their constituents, and I just hope that we do not go down that road. The subject of data centers is coming. It's like a tidal wave that's on the horizon, but it's definitely coming. And so anyway, I just wanted to urge this board, if you can't find a way to adopt some formal policy that prohibits the signing of non-disclosure agreements, I hope you can at least come forward with some agreement with the public that this is just not something that we're going to do. So with that, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Good. All right. Anybody else press the public comment? Thank you.
This email is from Nate Hoxter, the QAC Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. This is, Dear Queen Anne's County Commissioners, the QAC Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee recommends option 4 as the best location for the Route 50 pedestrian overpass. To summarize, he goes through saying that option 4 location does the most to improve the broken connectivity on Kent Island specifically. It connects many residential neighborhoods and communities on the south and north sides. It is more centrally located on the island and connects public services such as libraries, schools, etc. It provides greater access to retail establishments. It strategically provides future pedestrian connectivity expansion opportunities on the south side of Route 50. They would love to say that option 1 does not afford any of these connectivity benefits, and in summary, they are very supportive of the county pursuing a pedestrian crossing of Route 50. That's it. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. All right, we'll close press and public comment.
All right, Commissioners, we can move into the presentations portion of the agenda. So if you want to turn to tab number 6, actually nothing for this first one, but we have Mr. Jay Kenty, Leveling the Playing Field. Is Jay here?
Come on up, Jay.
Jay, all right, come on up.
Please.
Oh, yeah, please come on up, yeah.
When is it appropriate, Mr. Rowe, would you please distribute these to the county commissioners? Start at the bottom, there isn't anything wrong with this.
Never said anything.
You may begin.
It is my understanding that we have 10 minutes. Good. Good evening. Thank you very much for allowing Joseph and me to come to present to you Leveling the Playing Field. I'd like each one of you to imagine, please don't look at those yet. Oh yes, what wonders wait within. Imagine a world without sidelines. Equity and access are really the key talking points of this presentation. I want you to imagine something. So here you are, elementary school, and you have really competed well against your peers. And then you move into middle school, and you are still competing at a very, very good level against your peers. And then you get to a point where the paths diverge, and all of a sudden, the equipment and the access that you had now becomes an issue of paying for equipment. And because of the cost of equipment, I don't know if you've been to any lacrosse tournaments lately, but if you look at the cost of a lacrosse stick, it can vary anywhere between $100 to $140 or more, not to mention the cleats. If you're playing men's lacrosse, not to mention the helmet, pads, etc. Very expensive. And so you can't compete on that play. All of a sudden, the playing field is no longer level, is it? Imagine you go to visit your friends and you pick up a lacrosse stick or you pick up a football or a baseball glove and you start playing and the glove feels good in your hand. You're able to really spiral that football. Or you find out that you're really good at receiving a football. Field hockey sticks, so you're playing street hockey, and that even feels really good in your hand. And yet you go back to your home school, and those things that were available at another individual's school are not available at your school, through no one's fault. Well, how would you feel? How many children currently do not even come to a tryout because they're embarrassed? Because they don't want to have to ask for equipment. So that is why in 2013, Max Levitt, who had a great deal of experience not only as an athlete, but also as an equipment manager at the rec level, college level, as well as the professional level, saw an awful lot of athletic equipment that after it was used for the first time was either housed or stored or put in a shed and never used again until it was so old that it was basically unusable. He decided to start leveling the playing field. Started in Washington, D.C., moved to Baltimore. Many of you probably don't even know what it was. I didn't until I went to see our granddaughters play lacrosse up at Bell Branch Fields in Davidsonville, and I saw a bin leveling the playing field, and I said, what on God's green earth is this? Well, now we know. And at Kent Island High School, because of the support of a community
community of parents, students, faculty, administrators, and the National Honor Society at Kent Island High School, there is now a bin, the first of its kind on the Eastern Shore. We are trying to bring this initiative to the Eastern Shore. So Joseph, if you would please pick up with the stats.
Since 2013, $14 million of sports equipment was distributed from leveling the playing field alone. They have over 1,500 sports programs that are impacted, including schools, rec centers, youth programs, YMCAs, sports leagues, anything. I mean, they have over 550 tons of equipment that was just kept in play instead of just being discarded, thrown away. Like, all this stuff that people have after getting rid of it once they're done with their seasons can be completely refurbished and sent right back brand new. That's 550 tons worth of equipment from people that are done with their seasons that can be brought and spent right back into the community. I mean, our original inventory in just the past 2 months that we got on the Kent Island bin was 2 baseballs, 2 footballs, a basketball, 8 tennis balls, 9 soccer balls, 2 pairs of shin guards, 8 lacrosse sticks with the heads, 2 ice hockey sticks, 3 pairs of soccer cleats, a pair of figure skates, 2 baseball gloves, and an entire set of golf clubs with the bag. I would like to invite you to please open your folders now. Just take a minute to look at the pictures on the left side or right side of the folder, please.
So are these things that people have deposited in there?
Those were taken directly from from what we've gotten as donations. And that's all sent right back into the community.
And that's just one school.
Right. It's people that have donated through the community just at Kent Island High School.
So while you peruse those pictures, again, this has been, I would say, an all-hands-on-deck effort. So we're talking about teachers, we're talking about the PTAs, we're talking about the SGAs at the schools, we're talking about the athletic director at Kent Island High School, the principal at Kent Island High School, and there has been a request to please, because we are so spread out, to move leveling the playing field to North County. I was very fortunate to be able to meet with the principal at Churchill Elementary yesterday morning. I presented to her what is being presented to you tonight. I told her I had bins in the bed of my truck. She said, will you please bring one into the lobby of this school? When people walk into Churchill Elementary, I want people to see that bin sitting right there so that they can donate. So again, it is moving, giving, again, access to people who have equipment to donate, an easier try than having to go clear down to Kent Island High School to donate.
I'd like to ask you to now flip over the papers that are turned in your folder and just take a minute to view the itemized list as follows. When we pulled the inventory on homecoming night, we had Leveling the Playing Field come down from Baltimore, and they took everything that we had already received as donations, and they brought it back up towards their facility. But the list I read before, it was 2 baseballs, $10 each, or $10, 2 footballs, $20, a new basketball, $25. 8 tennis balls at $2 a piece, so $16. 9 soccer balls, $135. 2 pairs of shin guards, $20. 8 lacrosse sticks, $480. 2 ice hockey sticks, $80. 3 pairs of soccer cleats, $60. 2 baseball gloves, $60. And an unknown number for the golf clubs with the bag, but we assume that it is greatly over 100. That leaves us with a total of close to 1,000, if not over 1,000, in just 2 months, with not even scratching the surface of support that we could get for this initiative.
So if people have something to donate, the drop box is at Ken Island High School, right, by the football field, right?
As soon as you turn in,
Right.
And
it
you head over
says
toward the football
Level the playing
field.
field on it.
can't miss it.
And then the other location, Churchill Elementary School has one now?
Yes,
Or-
sir.
And then others to be located later, right? We're still
Be
working on it?
meeting Friday morning with the principal at Sudlersville Elementary,
That's a great location.
and I have a request into the principal at Queen Anne County High School
Okay.
to meet with him as well.
Lou
And I've already
Shepherd.
spoken with the AD at Queen Anne County High School.
Are we looking at putting them in the parks where we have fields where sports are actually taking place?
Say again?
I said, are we looking at putting them at parks where sports are actually taking place, like Route 18 Park,
The point.
Bats Neck, Love Point,
Excellent question.
Churchill Park?
The goal here is, if we can get the same sort of traction in the North County, and with Laura Davis's support, Laura has been involved in county athletics here for years, it gains the traction, and that's the proposal before leveling the playing field. If those 3 indoor bins located in North County gain the sort of traction that it's gaining in South County, then they will look at bringing a bin. Probably we're talking about White Marsh. And of course, the bin at Ken Island High School is in such close proximity to Love Point that we're basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Okay. I'm just thinking from an optics standpoint of your parents are bringing their kids to the sporting events at the parks, it's like right there in front of them. Versus the schools, like, so
Make it
somebody
easy
who,
for 'em.
like, yeah, I mean, thinking of, put them as many places you can is what I'm getting at, really.
Well, and for leveling the
redundancy's
playing
not a big
field
deal in
is,
this.
it is how many bins do they actually have available that are the outdoor bins? Because they're really nice bins.
Gotcha.
They're well-structured, fiberglass with a really nice wrap on them. So part of it for them is just having the numbers of bins to be able to get out to us. But again, the key is, and here's where every one of you, gentlemen, comes into play. All righty? Where's the potential? We haven't even scratched the surface. Tip of the iceberg, not even close. So think about this. You go back to your communities. You take those folders with you. That's why you received them tonight. Some of you are businessmen, attorney, INCREEP. So my point is, you have a reach far beyond what I have in my capacity. You get that word out to your communities, to your associates in your businesses, to your HOAs. You become part of planting that seed. You become 5 pieces to this puzzle that becomes expanding this to the Eastern Shore. Parkside High School already has a relationship with them. They receive football equipment from leveling the playing field. It's not that you had to have leveling the playing field here on the Eastern Shore to participate, but the reciprocity that can occur between what Queen Anne County donates and what Queen Anne County receives, it's a win-win situation across the board.
Jay, I think this is great. I know everybody's had kids in sports, has had lots of sport equipment they bought, and then at the end of the season, the kids are growing out of it, but the equipment is still in great shape. So I commend you on putting this together, and we're here to support you to grow it. Before we wrap up on you, if somebody needs equipment, how do they contact Level the Playing Field to
You
get
go to
that?
Leveling the Playing Field.
leveltheplayingfield.com?
There is a grant application. It is very straightforward. It's about 4 pages, each question answered in short. There are very, very few requests, but the keys are your rec league coaches. If you have a teacher in an elementary school that would like to introduce a sport, a teacher in an elementary school, the high school coaches, the rec league coaches, those individuals are the keys that unlock the equipment for us, for the county. The bin at Ken Island High School is the first. Let it not be the last.
Question.
Sir,
It does Leveling the Playing Field receive this donated equipment, and then do they sell it, or do they just provide it to somebody who needs it?
they provide it.
Okay.
They provide it. And they do their very, very best to try to provide it. If you could see, well, you see in some of those pictures there, just the cleats. The cleats. There's a bag, I couldn't get the bag completely opened because it was so packed with cleats. Those are a window into what is sitting out there within this county just waiting to be tapped.
What you collect in the county, does it go first to the county kids versus
No.
getting shipped out?
No, it needs to be inventoried in Baltimore. If it's really going to work, that inventorying and distribution process has to start with Baltimore. And then, once the requests, because Parker's already asked me, Jay, have any requests come in from Queen Anne County yet? And to date, none, because this is still very new. When he gets those requests, he will meet with me or Joseph or one of the members of the National Honor Society at Kent Island High School to pick up and get the equipment back here to the county. You want to finish with those keys to success, my young friend?
I think some of the things that, you know, really would help push the initiative is just, like, talking about it. Like, tell everybody, like I've been telling everybody I know, just, hey, this is a thing, like, tell as many people as you can, 20 of your closest friends, right? Social media is a huge thing in our day and age now. I mean, I'm on it hours every day, so just using that as an outlet is huge. And I think PTSA newsletters, I mean, the high school sends out one just about every week, so I believe having that, maybe even like a once a month type of thing, would be a huge benefit for just the initiative as a whole. The teachers at the elementary and middle school levels, the coaches at the rec and high school levels, they're all requesting donations. And I'm part of the high school swim team, and I think we had 40 kids try out today. Like, some of these kids came to us, didn't have any equipment, like, and so like we need stuff. The high school needs stuff. These teams, you know, they only have as much money as the high school can give out, or how much money that they raise themselves. And so I think that requesting or having this plan gets equipment back into the community that's just sitting at home otherwise, right? And those same teachers and coaches, if they encourage their students, like, once I graduate at the end of the year, I'm probably not going to need my swim stuff anymore, right? So I can turn that in, and it will get shelled back out. It's a full circle moment. It's nice knowing that some kid who may not have access to equipment like that can use the equipment that carried me through all my 4 years of high school.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
First
you.
of all, I think we exceeded our time limit by just a shade.
That's right.
So thank you so much.
It's a good, important cause. Thank you.
Jay, reach out to the athletic director at Chesapeake College.
Didn't even think about that.
His name is
Sweet
Frank.
Jesus. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the heads up.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help getting this far.
Absolutely, thank you for coming.
All right,
Of course.
character counts.
All right, our next presentation is Character Counts. So Melinda Ray is here, Wayne Humphreys, Shauna Payne. So come on up for the Character Counts Spotlight and Proclamation 25-43. 25-year anniversary. Wonderful.
Good evening.
All right.
Thank you, Wayne. So we have quite a few things tonight, but I do want, before we talk about our 25 years in Queen Anne's County, which happens this month, which is very exciting, I did want to give you guys a little update on where we are this year. Right now, as of this morning, we have 111 volunteers, community members that are Character Counts coaches in our county, which is amazing. We have a coach in all 4 middle schools. We have coaches in every K through 5 classroom, which is really exciting. This morning we had 100%, and then we went to 99% because a coach wasn't able to fill it out. And then one quick post on social media, and we're back at 100% already. So that's super exciting. I love the way Facebook works and how quickly our community steps up when there's a need for us. So I love that. In September, we had our first ever free family fun day, which was really exciting. It was hosted at Dominic's Farm. We partnered with the Department of Social Services. And it's the first time that we had done that. So we were kind of expecting maybe 150 kids. We had way over like 250. Like, there were probably 500 people that showed up. It was pretty incredible and amazing to see, and everybody had a really good time. So I'm kind of hoping that we keep doing that. A couple of years ago, we started the school ambassadors, so that each school would have kids at the school level kind of promoting the pillars of character at the schools. And so this is our third year doing that, and this is the first year that we have ambassadors at all 8 of the elementary schools have participated. So we have all 8 ambassadors at the schools, which is really exciting. We are still active on social media. It is growing. We post all the time. We love doing our spotlights. Looking ahead, we just want to continue to seek out and share the positive things that are happening in the community. It's one of my favorite things is that you guys do the spotlight, that we kind of brought that on a couple of years ago, because there really is a lot of good happening in the county, and it's so great to kind of highlight it every month. And so that's really exciting. So do you guys want to do the spotlight now? Because we have 2 really deserving young men here who are getting spotlighted tonight.
Let's do it.
That's you, Phil.
This is not the spotlight, this is proclamation. Where's the spotlight?
In your book.
Page 22.
Item 3, page 22. Roman numeral 3, tab 6, and Roman numeral 3, page 22.
What I have?
Let me see what I got here.
Did I mess y'all up? I go out of order?
No, you didn't.
I like to keep you on your toes.
Tab 3?
Tab
6.
Tab 6.
Tab 6.
Did I say 3?
Roman numeral 3, tab 6. Got a lot of numbers here and
I'm sorry.
That's a
not
lot.
that smart, so.
I taught history, not math.
I got it. All right. Queen Anne County Commissioners Character Count Spotlight for November of 2025. Citizenship is the pillar, is a pillar of character count. Celebrated in November. Voting, volunteering, and stepping up for others are all great ways to be good citizens of the community. This month, we'd like to recognize 2 local youths who understand that service to others is a great way to step up and contribute to making our community a better place to be. First, Max Martinson, a 12-year-old 6th grader who attends Stevensville Middle School. Rita Greenan wrote to us saying, I really could check off every pillar for Max. I was at the Ken Island Dog Park, and I saw Max there picking up the poop that others had missed. At first, I thought he was there with one of the dogs that was at the park, but as the dogs came and went, Max was still there. I went over and asked if he was cleaning the park for a merit badge or something. He said no, he just likes dogs. Max actually rode his bike to the park and was cleaning the park because that is what you were supposed to do. She continued to say, Max did it without being asked. Max did it without expecting any award. Max did this because it was the right thing to do, because he cares for the dogs and his community. It was really refreshing to see. We agree and are so proud of Max's demonstration of citizenship. Our second honoree is Joseph Huber, a senior at Ken Island High School. Joseph was an integral part in establishing a level the playing field donation box in Stevensville. In a conversation with longtime character counts coach Jay Kenty, Joseph learned about Leveling the Playing Field, an organization that collects gently used sports equipment and distributes it to those in need, allowing more equitable access to youth sports. He also learned what was needed to start expanding their reach to the Eastern Shore, and he jumped into action. He proposed adopting the program as part of Ken Island High School's National Honor Society's community outreach. Joseph took that proposal to his NHS sponsor, his principal, and the high school's athletic director, who embraced the idea. As a result, a Level the Playing Field donation bin can be found at Ken Island High School, the first on the Eastern Shore. Joseph is also a former student coach for Character Counts and truly demonstrates citizenship in his dedication to our mission. To learn more, or if you are aware of a business, nonprofit, or individual in the county exemplifying one or all of the 6 pillars of character you think deserves to be spotlighted, visit www.peopleofcharacter.org.
And we have both of these young men here tonight. So can they
Stand up, guys.
Stand up.
And I love that Max is wearing a dog shirt. Like, that is so appropriate.
For you, Queen Anne County Commissioners Appreciation Coin. Job well done.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
And then now we get to celebrate our birthday.
25?
25.
Quarter of a century.
And Wayne's been here for all of it.
I was just going to say, Wayne, you haven't aged one bit.
Wayne's 39, right?
So I have the privilege of reading the proclamation. I found it, so we're good. Proclamation 25-43, whereas 25 years ago, the people of Queen Anne's County initially recognized the importance of positive character traits in the people and encouraged one another to incorporate these values into their daily lives. And whereas in 2000, the Queen Anne's County Commissioners officially endorsed the 6 pillars of character and declared Queen Anne's County a Characters Counts community. Whereas Character Counts encourages all citizens, corporate and individuals, to incorporate and model the invaluable traits of the 6 pillars, which are trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In an ongoing commitment to promote character development and ethical behavior in our community. And whereas Character Counts has been fortunate in building a great partnership with Queen Anne's County Public School System, and their volunteers regularly contribute to over 100 volunteer hours each month in the Queen Anne's County Public Schools. Whereas local businesses, organizations, and nonprofits have participated in the Character Counts initiative as businesses of character, providing volunteers and financial support and assisting with the spreading of the message of good character. And whereas through Character Counts, our community has been and will continue to promote the goals of Queen Anne's County's Character Counts Advisory Council to strengthen personal character traits, build families of character, and create more cohesive communities of character. Now, therefore, we, the Queen Anne's County Commissioners, do hereby recognize and invite our citizens to celebrate 25 years anniversary for the Character Counts in our community. That's a huge commitment, Wayne. 25 years. Well done.
It's the people. It's the people that get it.
Well done, Wayne. You've been coming up here for years.
25 of those has gotten.
25 of them.
Or more. Tell us how it started, Wayne. Well, it started in 1999, actually, right after a terrible tragedy in Columbine, when we had about 125 people in 2 meetings, one up here in Centerville and one in Stevensville. And they were asked to come up with some ideas about what this community could do to potentially mitigate something like that here. And we broke into groups. They came up with 32 ideas. We sent it out to everyone that attended, and they voted on which were the most important. And the top 2 were good after-school programs and some kind of character initiative. And at that time, we started working on trying to put together an initiative here in Queen Anne's County. It took us a little over a year we actually worked with the state, got a little bit of funding from them to help us get going and bring on our first Character Counts coordinator. And then the coaches just started showing up and doing such a wonderful job. And I think we've probably, over the years, we're probably well over 150,000 contacts with students regarding character. Yeah, easily that, I guess. And a couple thousand, at least, volunteers. This community said they wanted to do it, and they did it, and they continue to do it. And I don't know, we should really be proud of our neighbors that come every year and decide to take part in this initiative. And a couple of years ago, we had some graduating students that had been with us for virtually all their educational process. And they wrote a proclamation back then and discussed how important it was to them to have people come into the classroom. You know, somehow the students know that they're not paid. They're there because they love the children, and they want to share an idea or ideas with them. And the students seem to know that. And some of the teachers and the students send out little thank yous, and if you read some of those, you wouldn't believe some of the comments. I've seen them. One of them that I remember is, you're one of my most favorite people. And it was a wonderful idea that the community had, and it's just wonderful to see it 25 years later. It's just.
I have coaches tell me all the time, towards the end of the year, we chat about their experience, especially the ones who've done it for the first time. And so many of them tell me that, we know the kids get something out of it because they send the thank you notes and they really do, but the coaches get so much out of it. Like, it's just so much fun for them. And then one of my favorite things, Wayne told me when it got started that they had gone to the Board of Education about putting this in, and at the time it was basically a curriculum that they wanted kind of implemented with character education. And rightfully so, they told them at the time, we don't want to give the teachers anything else to do. So we have to make this volunteer-based. And I think that that was the biggest blessing, because I think the fact that we are volunteer-based and that the community is so involved brings such a different aspect than if the teachers were implementing this. I think the fact that you have volunteers from the community showing their dedication, the kids see the citizenship in action every time that a coach walks in their room. So I think that that's one of the most beautiful parts about what we do, is that we do have so many community volunteers. And like I said, I lost a coach today who just wasn't able to kind of fulfill the duty. For life happens. One quick post on Facebook, and not only did I fill that position, probably within 5 minutes of making that post, it was filled. I had 4 or 5 other people email me, put me on the list for next year, contact me next year. So it's amazing how quickly this community steps up when there's a need.
Also, you see the teachers have embraced it as well, because they see the people in the community coming into the classrooms and wanting to talk to the students.
Yep.
And your spotlight on the teachers and which
we do staff recognitions. We started that a couple of years ago. Any community member can nominate anyone at QACPS, any staff member in the schools, for recognition. We usually start in October is the first time, so I'm getting ready to send the next batch out. Next week I'll be dropping those certificates off for the staff, and we like to do the shout outs on social media. But just in the 2 months, we've already have 50 nominations for people that they want to recognize in QACPS, which is great.
And I would also like to say that because of your support and your commissioners before you, I think that has had so much to do with this. I know that a number of the commissioners have participated as coaches.
I did 9th graders and 4th graders. Talk about a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you still, what is the age cutoff that you are?
I don't want there to be a cutoff, but we focus on making sure that every K through 5 classroom has a coach first.
Okay.
And then at the middle school levels, logistically, once they go to middle school and they're switching classes, it becomes a little bit more challenging. So we have coaches, at most of the middle schools, we have coaches with 6th and 7th graders.
Okay.
It's a little bit different at each school, but that's the consensus of the 4 is usually with 6th and 7th graders. And then Shauna here works with 8th graders at Centerville Middle. And then I'd love to find a way to implement at the high schools, even if it's working with like the Interact clubs or the school climate teams, in a way to kind of maybe just do like a spirit week where we focus on the pillars. So try to get it at the high school level as well. But logistically, high schools are much more difficult to figure out how to get in there. But I'm brainstorming.
Yeah, we did 9th grade only because I think the 9th graders were actually at the Mattapique, where they're at the annex. They weren't at the high school at the time. So it was a little bit easier. And it was a computer class that it was actually Commissioner Aronson at the time, then became a delegate. But yeah, we went into a 4th grade class together. And then we did the 9th grade class together. Yeah, we didn't go in on our own because we felt like we needed to have each other's back.
Yeah.
But
and I love that we have several teams, like a 2-people team that will do it together. So I'm always open to that as well. One of the cool things that happened this year was that Dr. Kibler, the acting superintendent, reached out to me in August, and wanted to be involved. We had sat down, we had chatted. He has himself and his entire executive team are coaching this year. They are in the schools, in the classrooms with the students. And as a former educator in this county, the fact that the executive team from the Board of Ed is wanting to be in the buildings and kind of see what's happening there is amazing to me. So I think that's wonderful. So even the Board of Ed is involved at this point.
yeah, obviously it's been a great program, very successful. I know that when we celebrated 12 years, it was hard to believe that actually, your first graders, all the way up to their senior year graduating were exposed to the whole concept of the 6 pillars of character, and were reminded each month what the character, for that month was, and challenge them to try to live their lives and based on the character for that particular month.
Yeah.
And I think that couple years where we did the anti-bullying campaign, and we actually had those anti-bullying rallies in the classrooms, I think it really fed into the Characters Counts program. It's okay to be a person of character. It's not cool to be bullying. So I think that message resonated with our kids, and I think we have great kids today because of it in our school system.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Hold on. My friend is being humble.
This one?
Yeah.
He always is.
We went to church together when he started this. And I had the blessing of watching you literally go person to person, recruiting people throughout the community, and it's just amazing what you have done in your team and how God has worked through you. Like, what a blessing. So
And the impact that his dedication to this initiative.
yeah, he would walk up to people in fellowship hall and say, have you ever heard of character count? No. Well, let me tell you all about it. And then volunteer after volunteer. So thank you again.
Agreed. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, our next trio of presenters, we have the one and only Kathy Willis, the Director of Community Services, Annie Sparks, the Director of Aging and Transportation, and Mr. Mike Clark, the Executive Director of Housing and Family Services, for a Community Services update and Proclamation 2550 for National Caregivers Month. All right, welcome. And we're on tab 6, item 4, and pages 24 and 25. All right.
Good evening, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good. I'm strategically placing myself closer to the exit and turning it over. This will be my last visit to you in this building. And
In this building.
in this building,
In this capacity.
in this capacity.
There you go.
Thank you, Jack. That's very helpful. I'm sure my mouth won't go away, but I'll still be around. So I was joking with Annie earlier today that the first meeting I attended in this building, my director at the time kicked me under the table because I said something she didn't want me to say. But as you all have known through the years, I will say what's most important, factual, share all of the information that we have. And I am very confident that Mike and Annie will continue to do the same thing because it's
I
important.
thought that was a disclaimer. You were getting ready to do something that maybe
No.
you should be kicked under the table
No,
for.
no, and I want to know, I've never kicked them under the table, so.
Mike does sit all the way over there.
I know. So, I just want to thank you very much, and we're going to allow Annie and Mike to do their respective departments, and I'm going to have Mike start with the update for Housing and Family Services.
Right. So, I know you guys have a busy night, so we kept it quick and brief, but so we're just overall, the Department of Housing and Community Services overview. Annie and I have been working out how we can communicate with the two different departments and make sure we continue to be smooth as it was before. And we've been meeting pretty regularly and talking about just specifics, just to get things down on paper and things so that we're clear with the two different departments so they continue to work seamlessly. In regards to that Housing Division, the quick highlight for the Housing Division is that our Make a Difference Day, and I think Kelly is still back there. Kelly Huber played a very large part in our Make a Difference Day this year. It's the 12th year of the event. It's the largest turnout ever with 132 families, 245 individuals. Participants there receive clothing, food, utility support, advice, haircuts, dental services, just to name a few. And it was just an amazing day. It was a strong partnership between the housing office, the community, which we just got a little strong theme as another example of strong community theme with all the nonprofits and the volunteers and the groups that stepped up to participate in that event. And it was just an amazing event. You just feel good. You feel tired walking away, but you also feel very good about it. It's amazing. So thanks, Kelly. And Kelly pretty much takes the lead on that one. In regards to the Housing Authority, we welcomed a new board member. Thank you for appointing Roger Harrell. I think he's going to be a great addition to our board, and looking forward to working with him. He's also recently become a member of the Local Management Board. We are focusing on an upcoming Housing Authority board retreat. We're looking at, first thing, we're looking at strategies to how can we deal with affordable and workforce housing. We've got at least 4 groups that have come to us that have talked to that and have made it a priority amongst their group. And we want to look at that and see what can we do in Queen Anne's County that works, fits with the taste of this community, but still achieve that goal. So that's one of the things we're going to look on in the retreat. And then also the second thing we're going to look on is kind of moving from good to great. We feel like we've gotten ourselves to a place of good with the Housing Authority. Now let's see if we can become the best housing authority in the state and one of the best in the country, and what's it going to take to do that. What are the steps they're going to take to do that? So that's where we're looking for the Housing Authority. And lastly, I believe she's here also, our new L&B coordinator is Rachel Carmody. She's right back there. So we welcome her. She has hit the ground running. She's addressing issues with the state, incorporating priorities and things that are coming down from the state to make sure that they fit well with our community. She is preparing for our board retreat for them this Thursday, where they're going to look at and come up with ideas to move forward there. So we welcome her. So glad she's here, and she's done a great job. And lastly, I can't not make this last presentation with the fact that no, I have never been kicked by Kathy, but I have been told almost 100% of the time, other than tonight, saying, Kathy, you know, she's like, Mike, keep it short. Don't get too wordy. It's all right. Mike, keep it short. They don't need to hear all that. So I actually emailed her and said, this is your last one. Don't you want to tell me that? She says, no, not feeling it today. So we won't talk about that just because I got 99% of the time I was told to keep it short. But I do want to say that I'm going to miss you a great deal, Kathy. And you for many reasons. For whatever reason, the one that's been on my mind the most is maybe because of some of the employee things we have, is that you always respect and care for employees, and you've made that clear that if an employee has a family issue or a personal issue, that they need to take care of that and keep their health and their family and show care for their family. I've experienced it personally, and I've watched it with my coworkers, and I know it's appreciated, and I know it makes stronger employees, and that's just one thing I admire and I'm going to miss. So thank you very much.
You know, there's a great book out there called Good to Great, and it was written about the Fortune 500 companies and how they sustained greatness and how they got there. So one of the things is getting the right people on the bus and getting them in the right seats, and then bringing in your replacements and getting them trained years in advance. So when you do transition out, it is seamless, and your commitment to your replacement, and you've been with us for a few years now, getting her ready. We're going to miss you, but we're not worried about us losing any steps either.
That's the goal.
And that's because of you.
Thank you.
I will say, when she said she was retiring, I did want to kick her under the table, but, you know, maybe we'll save that for after retirement. We'll see. So as you know, the Holiday Gala is approaching, coming up on Thursday, December 4th. Thank you to the County Commissioners again for sponsoring that event. It is 5 to 9 at Sothersville Senior Center with the theme Under the Stars for the evening. So we look forward to that. Food will be Adam's Grill with DJ Gregory Wright.
So what was the date on that again? I'm sorry?
Thursday, December 4th.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing. So that is with our senior centers. And then with the transportation division, we're excited to announce that we will continue Ride for Free into 2026. So thank you for your support on that. We have seen since we started Ride for Free, the numbers before that to now, numbers of rides have almost tripled since we started that program of Ride for Free. So that's in large part to you supporting it and the riders. The Transportation Development Plan is recently going on, and they did a survey of riders. And while we haven't seen a lot of new riders coming in, we have seen a big growth in the number of rides that people are taking. So that means a lot to them. And it's about 30 to 35% of workforce rides, so it's good for the economy as well. So thank you for that. And then for the Community Care Division, they recently had a Caregivers Month event for their conference annually. And we have a proclamation to read. I believe that's tab 22-5. No, I don't know. I don't know how high you
Wait a
go.
minute.
Got it.
Wait a minute. Kathy's never known what the proclamation number was. Never.
She's messing with you.
She's really close, though. I'm not gonna lie, I got it in front of me, and it's really close. So.
Good job.
So we are excited to be proclaiming Caregivers Month for November, and we thank you for reading that proclamation for us.
You got the 25 right.
I know, it's scary. Figured out how she was looking. There's a camera back there. Anyway, all right, Proclamation 2550. Whereas over 53 million Americans today are family caregivers for their loved ones, and whereas a large number of them are finding themselves providing care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas families are often the primary source of support and care for older adults and people with disabilities, and whereas although caregiving can be a rewarding experience, it is not without its consequences such as stress, poor health, and caregiver burnout, and whereas family caregiving can be the most unpaid, rewarding job you can have. Whereas making time for yourself and the family protects a family caregiver's own health, strengthens family relationships, prevents burnout, and can enable a care recipient to stay at home longer. The chance to take a breather and re-energize is vital for you to be as good as a caregiver for tomorrow as you were today. And whereas caregivers are looking to connect with people in the community who truly understand what they're going through, and whereas the responsibility of family caregivers in our country is growing every year, it is even more essential to encourage these heroes to take some time for respite, attend our local caregivers meetings, and attend a caregivers conference, which was on November 14th, 2025, and continue to contact the Queen Anne's County Department of Aging and Transportation for additional resources. Now, therefore, we, the County Commissioners, Queen Anne's County, do hereby recognize November 2025 as National Caregivers Month with the theme, Plug In to Care. Signed, your Queen Anne's County Commissioners.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's for you. Is
Thank you.
Is this like your first one? So, we'll sign it if you want.
Oh, thank you.
It is signed.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Well, let's
Any
get a picture with
questions?
Kathy as she departs.
Thank you. Oh, you don't need one of those.
No, we'll get one at Kathy's last meeting. We
We'll
got
get
it
it.
too. Come on.
We'll do the meeting one?
Yeah, we got it. This is
Did
the
I just
last
roll
meeting.
my eyes on camera? I think I did.
As long as she doesn't kick any of us.
Thank you.
Kathy, I understand your retirement party has an open bar, is that?
All right, Commissioners, we can move into the action items portion of the agenda. So first we have the Department of Public Works has 3 items. If you want to turn to tab number 2.
Roads?
Actually, this is for administration. Tab 2, item 1, pages 1 through 16. This is the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant agreement. So the Secretary of Transportation encouraged us to move forward and create our own strategic highway safety plan as part of the Zero Deaths in Maryland campaign. So we applied for the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant through the Federal Highway Association, and we got a budget of up to $350,000 to complete a countywide safety plan. 20% of that would be a local match, which will be covered from in-house staff. So we do recommend approval of the grant, and Steve Cahoon is here to talk about any specifics that you have questions about the specific project.
I move to approve the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant agreement and authorize the county administrator to execute the agreement.
Second.
And a motion, a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
All right.
Can I get a motion to convene as roads?
I'll make a motion, we go into Roads Board, convene as Roads Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, Commissioners, we have two items, actually follow-up items from our last meeting. Item number 2 on pages 17 through 28 is the Harford and Olive Branch Road Special Benefit Assessment for Road Improvement Project decision. And I'll let Shane provide the statistics here from the follow-up from the hearing.
Sure. We left the public record open for 2 weeks. In total, out of the 41 property owners, as part of the original proposed project, 13 property owners have testified or emailed in favor of the project. 0 property owners have testified or emailed opposing the project. We did have 2 property owners that testified at the public hearing. One expressed concerns but did not vote either way, and then the other person did request an exemption and removal from the project. They also did not vote for or against the project. They simply have a special case where they have frontage on 2 private roads, and they were asking to be removed from this project and incorporated into the Ackerman Road project if that project ever were to begin.
But the way our procedure is set up was the first road that you're on, we put you on that, and then the next one, you wouldn't be a part of, right?
You wouldn't be on, correct.
Right.
So they were asking for the exemption. I'm just passing that along.
Yep.
I move to approve the Hartford and Olive Branch Roads Special Assessment for Roads Improvement.
Second.
Any motion, a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Moving on, item number 3. This is for the South Carolina and a portion of Oak Street Special Benefit Assessment for Roads Improvement Project decision on pages 29 through 46.
So in that project, as you remember, the actual public hearing, we had a very low turnout. We only had 2 property owners testify. Both of those testified against the project, opposing it. Since that, for the public record, we have had a total of, per your memo, a total of 14 property owners have testified, 9 in favor of it by email, and 5 total against the project. We did have 1 more come in after this memo was prepared, so we have 15 property owners have provided testimony, 10 are in favor, and 5 are opposed. Opposing reasons were cost and concerns with speeding and maintenance. So again, 10 for the project, 5 against the project, and that's where we stand.
Yeah.
I move to approve the South Carolina and a portion of Oak Street Special Assessment for Roads Improvement.
Second.
Motion, a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. And I'll just mention too, there was over 49 property owners in total on South Carolina and 41 on Hartford and Olive Branch. So the majority of the residents didn't oppose.
I guess silence is consent.
Didn't vote either way, right? So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Shane.
Okay, Commissioners, moving right on. Action items, tab number 3.
And they're gonna go, what the hell?
So first up, tab 3, item 1, page 1, proclamation 2554 for Diabetes Awareness Month. And we have a special guest coming up here, I think.
That's all right, girl. I can catch.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So those are all pins for diabetes awareness. So you can wear them and be my ally in my battle. All right. So I just read this.
Just go ahead and read about it, yeah.
All right. Whereas diabetes.
Whoa,
You just
whoa.
don't sit down. You got to say who
Well, who
you
you
are.
are.
What are you doing
Who
here?
are you?
Oh,
What's
he
going
told
on
me
here?
to just read it.
Since when do you
That's your
listen to me?
dad.
I always listen to you. I'm a very very obedient child. Okay, my name is Isabella Corcorino. I am the daughter of the Honorable Christopher Corcorino, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 13 years old. I am 18 now, so it has been almost 5 years that I have lived with the constant glucose checking and insulin injections, and I can eat this, but I can't eat that, and I can participate in this, but I can't participate in that, and a constant, ongoing, never-ending battle that has affected me and the rest of my entire life. Now, a lot of people, when they are faced with a ginormous life change, kind of fall into a bit of a depressive hole, and I did for a very long period. And then I got like a wake-up call one day and was like, this is not how I am meant to live my life. I am meant to do something with this, and I am not meant to just be woe is me, I have diabetes, because the reality of it is it sucks, but it's maintainable, and I can live, and I can still live in the way I'm meant to live, and I still have my legs that work, my arms that work. The rest of my body, other than that, still works, and I have a voice and I have a personality that I feel I can really accomplish great things and teach others about my struggles with type 1 diabetes in the efforts to make other people feel a little less alone, as I felt in the beginning. So now I'll read the proclamation, unless you want to hear my impromptu TED Talk. Anyway. Whereas diabetes is a chronic health condition affecting millions worldwide, which can lead to serious complications and diminished quality of life. And whereas there are 3 primary types of diabetes: gestational diabetes, which develops during pregnancy in women who did not previously have diabetes; type 1 diabetes, that's what I have, everybody, occurs when the body's immune system mistakenly attacks and destroys insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. Early signs include increased thirst, frequent urination, sudden weight loss, blurred vision, fatigue, and slow healing sores. Type 2 diabetes results from insulin resistance, where the body doesn't use insulin effectively. Whereas early detection of type 1 diabetes is crucial, a simple blood sugar test can help prevent delayed or misdiagnosis, which can lead to potentially life-threatening diabetic ketoacidosis. And whereas diabetes awareness is essential to educate the public about prevention, management, and treatment. And whereas people with diabetes may need to administer insulin injections or perform finger prick blood glucose tests in public. These are normal management practices that should be conducted without public scrutiny. And whereas increased awareness can empower individuals to seek early diagnosis and interventions, reducing the risk of complications and encouraging further research to find better treatments and a cure. And whereas November is designated as Diabetes Awareness Month, a time to promote education, awareness, and support for those living with diabetes. And now therefore, wait, I get to call myself the county commissioner? We, the county commissioners of Queen Anne's County, do hereby proclaim the month of November as Diabetes Awareness Month and encourage all citizens to learn more about diabetes, support those affected, and participate in local events aimed at raising awareness and promoting healthy lifestyle.
Good job, Ellen. I think you are one heck of a spokesperson.
Thank you. I get it from my dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Okay,
All right. Item 2 on page 2,
Public
Proclamation
image.
2541, National Veterans and Military Families Month.
You, bro.
We have no one coming up for that, right?
it's you.
Just me.
That's you.
Just me. Well, that's okay. That's all right. So Proclamation 25-41 from a Marine Corps veteran. Happy birthday to my boys. No, November 10th.
250.
That's it. Whereas the residents of Queen Anne's County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of those who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas Queen Anne's County seeks to honor individuals who have made countless sacrifices for freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veterans
service officers to help fellow former service members access billions of dollars in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits each year. And whereas approximately 200,000 service members and their families transition to civilian communities annually, with 58% experiencing high levels of stress during this transition. And whereas an estimated 90% service members that deploy for military operations experience or witness traumatic events and are at a higher risk for developing PTSD, and many are at a high risk for suicide during their first year after military service. And whereas the National Association of Counties encourages all counties, parishes, and boroughs to recognize Operation Greenlight and Veterans Day, as well as National Veterans and Military Families Month. And whereas Queen Anne's County appreciates the sacrifices of our United States military personnel, veterans, and their families, and believes specific recognition should be granted. And whereas that in observance of Operation Greenlight, Queen Anne's County encourages its citizens and patriotic traditions to recognize the importance of honoring all those who made immeasurable sacrifices to preserve freedom by displaying green lights in a window of their place of business or residence from November 4th through the 11th, 2025. And now, therefore, we, the County Commissioners of Queen Anne's County, do hereby celebrate November as National Veterans Military Families Month. Signed, the County Commissioners.
Excellent.
Here we go.
All right, thank you, Commissioner
All right.
Renee. Well done. Yeah.
Well done.
All right, Commissioners, item number 3 on pages 3 through 5 is a economic development incentive funding request for SAM Enterprises, traveling as Traveling Toms of Centerville. And they are requesting a $30,000 grant, $30,200 grant to support the creation of a warehouse, garage, and commissary space for the expansion of a coffee and beverage experience that provides convenience of a coffee shop to local events and in Queen Anne's County. The total project cost is $212,000. That includes all the additional funding from the owner's capital contribution, and the project will be conditioned upon the creation of 2 full-time positions over the next 3 years. Our EDIF Fund Commission reviewed and approved the application by unanimous vote.
I move to approve the disbursement of up to $30,200 from the Economic Development Incentive Fund to SAM Enterprises, doing business as Traveling Toms of Centerville, for the purchase of equipment. The disbursement of funds is contingent upon a signed agreement between the Economic Development Incentive Fund Commission and SAM Enterprises, outlining the terms and conditions of the funding and performance of the project in accordance with the application submitted to the Economic Development Incentive Fund Commission.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion?
I have a question.
Madam, do you want to come up?
Evening.
Good evening.
All right.
So it just says the cost of the anticipated total cost of $212,000, and they're looking for $30,000 up to $30,000 from the Economic Development Commission and the commissioners. My question is, what is entailed in starting this portion? Because I know I've seen the Kona ice trucks at our high school football games and things like that, but this is going to be a coffee truck. Yes?
They've already have the coffee truck, and they also have a Kona ice truck, and with any type of food service, they have to have a commissary, you know,
Okay.
any kind of truck.
So that was
like
my question.
So this is going to be
brick and mortar
their
location to prep everything?
commissary,
Okay.
yes, and this loan would be to purchase some of the equipment within that commissary, not the building itself, but some of the things they need, like cold storage and the tables and things that they would have to have. They could rent a space to do that, which I think they do now. Just like any of the food trucks, they can't do a lot of the things that they want to do outside of their truck. They have to have a physical space that's been approved by the health department, and this will allow them to do that in-house.
All I have.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. One more.
Right. We have one more here, item 4 on pages 6 through 8. This is a request for EDIF incentive funding for Tasty Toucan for their expansion. Their request is for $20,000 to expand into handcrafted chocolate production. And also, that project will be conditioned on the creation of 2 full-time positions over the next 3 years. The EDIF Commission reviewed and approved this by unanimous vote.
I move to approve the disbursement of up to $20,000 from the Economic Development Incentive Fund to the Tasty Toucan for the purchase of equipment. The disbursement of funds is contingent upon a signed agreement between the Economic Development Incentive Fund Commission and Tasty Toucan, outlining the terms and conditions of the funding and performance of the project in accordance with the application submitted to the Economic Development Incentive Fund Commission.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question. Is this the ice cream store on the corner there in Stevensville?
Yes, we consider it one of the cornerstones.
When it has the lights where you can sit outside and the games and stuff?
And this will help them supplement their business because, you know, as you know, ice cream is a summertime thing, although you can have it year-round. This will allow them to get into a different business model that will help supplement during the winter season and all year long.
What a brilliant idea. That's all I have.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, Heather.
And
Thank
I
you
think
very
ice
much.
cream is a all year long.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Quick question, when do they anticipate they'll be up and running and
Oh, wait,
selling
no,
that
just
chocolate? Do we
December.
know?
I don't think it'll taste long, will take long, not taste long.
Right.
Take long. I'm not sure. It would
Okay.
depend. They're waiting to hear about this
Okay.
opportunity.
Phil wants to be first in line.
First, second, and third in line.
Let us know when the ribbon cutting is, that's right. All right, Commissioners, item 5 on pages 9 through 11, this is actually a housekeeping item. This is Resolution 2515.1, Community Development Block Grant Application. This was approved originally back on October 14th, and we didn't have the, we didn't note the actual amount in the resolution, so it got kicked back by the Department of Community Services, $136,000. This is for FY26 funding round, and it's to leverage monies for low-income residents of Fisherman and Riverside Housing to provide some paving in their parking lots at both locations. So,
Remember this.
yeah, so we just did that.
I move to execute the corrected resolution for the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $136,000 for the Department of Community Services, Division of Housing and Family Services.
Hold on, Phil, wrong one.
What?
This is the Resolution 25-15. Yeah,
Well, let's go to this one.
there you go. Number
2515.1 is the one.
2515.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I move to adopt resolution number 25-15.1, Community Development Block Grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Now, Phil, you can do number 6.
Is that the right one?
Number 6. Item number 6 on pages 12 through 21. We have 2 of these. We have a Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program Agreement of Sale and Project Agreement for the lands of Ralph Spencer Whaley and Ralph C. Whaley Jr. and April D. Whaley. And this is for 31.437 acres of a 75-acre property owned by the aforementioned individuals, ready to be submitted to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources for review and final approval. It is in our county priority preservation area and will add to the 616 acres of CREP easements already preserved.
I move to execute the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, CREP, easement agreement of sale and project agreement for the Ralph Spencer Whaley, Ralph C. Whaley Jr. and April D. Whaley property.
Second.
In discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. The second one we have is item number 7 on pages 22 and 23, and this is a Conservation Resource Enhancement Program, CREP, Agreement of Sale and Project Agreement for the lands of Jennifer J. McGlashan and Mary Ann Jackson. This is for 14.9 acres of a 44-acre property owned by Jennifer and Mary Ann, ready to be submitted to DNR for final approval, adding again to the county priority preservation area to the 616 acres in that easement area preserved currently.
I move to execute the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, CREP, easement agreement of sale and project agreement for the property owned by Jennifer J. McGlashan and Mary Ann Jackson.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the CREP?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
It's a long meeting.
I know, it is a long meeting. Item number 8 on pages 34 through 40, this is Island Creek Farm Amendment to Easement Declaration of Extinguishment. This is a declaration of extinguishment of an easement for the Island Creek Farm. The owner is requesting approval to reclassify and amend the subdivision technique utilized to create a 3.4 acre lot from a cluster to a slide technique. The slide technique does not require deed-restricted open space, and the current owner is seeking to terminate all open space that was required with the original cluster technique. And there is an exhibit in your books there as well for this.
I move to execute the declaration of extinguishment of easement for the Island Creek Farm LLC amendment to easement plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item number 9 on pages 41 and 42, this is for the Wreaths Across America sponsorship for 2025. And the Benedict Andrew American Legion is seeking sponsorships again this year for wreaths to be placed at the Eastern Shore Veterans Cemetery in Hurlock, Maryland. Last year, we contributed $10,000.
I move to execute the declaration, I move to sponsor Wreaths Across America for 2025 in the amount of $10,000?
Pick a number. What did we do last year? 10?
12.
12.
12,000?
Yep.
12,500 it is.
Going once.
Second?
Second.
Second. We got a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
There we go.
Passes. CRG purchase.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 10 on pages 43 and 44. This is for the County Enterprise GRC purchase and professional services. So, speaking of cybersecurity, here we are. We were awarded a cybersecurity grant through FEMA's state and local cybersecurity grant program. Our information communication technology staff put out an RFP for the procurement of an enterprise governance, risk, and compliance solution and risk management professional services. And this procurement will aid the county in meeting all Maryland cybersecurity requirements and improve our related policies and infrastructures to better protect our data, assets, and interests. We did receive 6 proposals, and they were a quality-based selection. Price was included, but it was also, we wanted to look at technical product acceptability and implementation. So the best overall submission came from vendor One Marksman. They were the second lowest cost proposal, and that was submitted, and our ICT staff recommends award of the contract to One Marksman for the control map solution and professional services for a total purchase price of $168,900.
I move to approve the recommendation of the ICT department to purchase the control map solution and professional services from One Marksman for a total purchase price of $168,900.
Second.
A motion second. Any discussion?
Brian, you got anything to say?
We got our...
I'd like to take the opportunity, Commissioners, to introduce our Information Security Officer, Mike Lopez. He was the one that spearheaded this initiative, did all of the data, worked with the RFP. He's been a tremendous asset. So as far as cybersecurity goes, he's the county's man.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, great work. Keep the systems rolling. We want to keep them right and safe.
You still don't know what we're getting, do you, Patrick? Because I don't understand either. All right, we have a motion to buy some technical stuff that none of us understand. All in favor?
Can you just give us
Aye.
a 30-second on that? What is this?
This is kind of the key to
Come on up here, Mike, so I can hear you.
It's kind of the key to our whole cybersecurity program. Right now, we have a lot of tools. We have
So like the firewall you're talking about?
No, this is not necessarily technical. So we have the firewalls, we have monitoring tools, scanning tools, we have people that secure systems. This is the system that's going to track what we're doing. This is going to track our compliance. We're going to state in here what we're doing to keep things secure, and we'll audit against this to make sure we stay compliant. So it's going to be kind of our central point of record for all of our cybersecurity initiatives.
And it'll track EMS and the volunteer fire departments?
Yes, everything within the counties.
Even when they're on a call, on their iPads?
I can track them physically. It's
On
going to
their
track the
iPads?
assets, the policies,
On their
procedures,
iPads?
accounts. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Sure.
basically what this does is it assists us. Basically, it assists us with maintaining and tracking all of the federally and state mandated things. Cybersecurity has just gone explosive. Sure. So, you know, again, it's one of those deals that before you used to have to do as much Googling as you could to find out what do we need to do. And there are now companies such as this that is making it pretty much foolproof to know what we need to do, where we need to be, so that way if any audits come down or whatever, we already have a checklist already slated out saying, here you go. So that's kind of where it's happening.
So this will stop us from becoming MedStar 5 years ago.
Or potentially Anne Arundel County last year.
Yeah.
So
That's our goal.
Now,
Be able to sleep at night.
Commissioner, I wasn't understanding what you were asking as far as the FEC with their tracking them. As far as the,
My thought was when they go out on a call, they've got their iPads. We don't want them to be breached. That's all.
oh, okay, right.
That's all.
From a cybersecurity standpoint, I thought you were talking about physically tracking with regards to where they're at, because that's all
No.
CAD
Nope.
programming and everything else. Okay. Yep. So that's kind of what we're doing, is trying to keep our stuff ours and nobody else's.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
We had a call, we had ayes, but any opposed? Passes. Got it.
All right, got a few more commissioners. Number 11, page 45, this is Veterans Community Public Arts Across America Grants Letter of Support, and this is a letter of support for the Queen Anne's County Veterans Committee for the application for the Public Arts Across America New Artworks Grant for a memorial statue honoring the United States Colored Troops of Queen Anne's County to be located at the Kennard African American Cultural Heritage Center.
I move to execute the letter of support for the Queen Anne's County Veterans Committee for their application with the Public Arts Across America, across Maryland, New Artworks Grant.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
You guys want to share anything?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
There we go.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 12, Board of Education FY27 Letter of Support requiring state and county funding for projects. This item is a letter of support and funding commitment for the Board of Education's FY27 state county shared capital projects. And this letter is for the approval of the county's share of the funding for the school construction for the following. And these are by priority order for the Board of Education. The first is the Kennard Elementary School HVAC system replacement, the Kennard Elementary School partial roof replacement, the Centerville Elementary School HVAC systematic renovation design, and a new Centerville Middle School AE design funding.
I move to sign the support and the funding commitment letter to the Interagency Commission on School Construction, which would approve the county's share of funding for the following projects that our county administrator just read for fiscal year of 2027.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Resolution 2516.
Yeah, item 13, Resolution 2516, confirmation of condemnation proceedings. This resolution is for the confirmation of the filed condemnation proceedings of the property owned by Jamals of Kent Narrows, consisting of 13.987 acres, as I was instructed to do back in July.
I move to adopt resolution number 25-16, confirming the filing of condemnation proceedings for the property owned by Jamal's Kent Narrows LLC.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. We have a budget amendment CC16 for benefit cost. This budget amendment adds budget authority to the health insurance in the amount of $800,000 for the county's expense related to the marathon health cost benefit and to increase the workman's compensation audit adjustment for the accrued compensated absences due to the GASB implementation. Both expenses are balanced out by the recordation taxes, which came in higher than budgeted.
I move to approve budget amendment CC-16, benefit cost.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you,
Motion carries.
Commissioners. We have one desk item. This is the speed reduction support letter, and this is a support letter to reduce the speed limit from 55 to 40 on about a 2,000-foot segment of Maryland 213, extending from Chesapeake College at the intersection of 50 to the north, just past all of those businesses that are situated on 213 on that stretch. And this was a request from Ken Fender, District 2 engineer. He is anticipating a new dollar store to be constructed within that proposed speed reduction zone. I thought this would be a good place to reduce that speed a bit for safety.
I move to execute the letter of support for relocating and extending the 40 miles an hour speed limit on Maryland 213 north of Grange Hall Road. For a mile?
Half mile,
Half mile.
2,000 feet. Not quite half mile.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and that is all the action items for this evening, Commissioners. We can do press and public comment.
No one online? Anybody in the audience want to speak for press and public comment? You just hit, perfect, no problem. Then we will close press and public comment and move the round table. I'll start on the right. Patrick.
I went to the Kennard Luncheon and had a fantastic time. Mr. Clay actually let me talk too. It was fun. Got an email from the EPA about the Onawingo Dam, and we present, I asked them if they'd be willing to come to Mako to talk to us. So we're in that negotiation now. I got to respond to them. So also the flag, I'd like to make a motion that we send a letter of support to the American Legion to move forward, for them to, exactly know how to make this motion, but to support them, for them to start talking to MDOT.
Why don't you tell the public what you're talking about first?
So, the American Legion would like to, for the 250th anniversary of our founding, would like to put a large flag on top of the Bay Bridge, and there's a pulley system that allows it on windy days or raining to go upside into a capsule and protect the flag. And for you to get a visual, you could just Google the George Washington Bridge flag, and it has a fabulous YouTube on how they protect the flag and put the flag away. It's only up a few times a year, and what we're shooting for, what they're shooting for, the American Legion, and it's not just Queen Anne's County American Legion, it's the American Legion of the Eastern Shore, is to talk with the state, the governor and Secretary Biddle, who's the Maryland Department of Transportation Secretary, who's very nice, and see if they can work out if the American Legion was able to buy the flag, give it to the state, and the state would put it up. So I'd like to make a motion to that point, that we would send a support letter to the American Legion and to MDOT, Secretary Biddle and Governor Moore, asking if they would look into this and see if it's viable.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. After watching that video you sent me of the George Washington Bridge? Yeah. Yes, sir. I mean, they actually lay plastic down so the flag never touches the ground. The flag's huge. I think that one's 60 by 90. Yeah. And they set it up and they hook it to these stainless steel and all this threads, and it actually picks the flag up, folds the flag, and it actually goes up into a large tube where it's stored there, and it comes down on Labor Day, Memorial Day, and July 4th for, 3 to 5 days, weather permitting. And that was one of my concerns about this project is what do you do about the weather? Well, you gotta do something about the weather. Well, if the weather's bad, they just don't push the button and lower it down and it opens up, you know, and I just think that it would be nice to have that done. That would be a huge feather in the cap to the Eastern Shore and all the veterans that can see it up and down that bay. I think it'd be pretty neat, so.
The flag weighs 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And to Commissioner's point, when they lay it out on a tarp, they take their shoes off.
Yeah, when they're walking on it to do that.
Veterans that are helping prepare the flag, they take their shoes off and they don't walk on the flag. They just walk around the perimeter. It's very moving, actually.
So we have.
Got a motion yet, a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yep, here we go.
If I could, one more thing, thank you. University of Maryland, we'll be meeting with President Kozel about the youth mental health hospital situation, and hopefully there'll be some good information coming down the road on that.
My turn. I'd just like to say, you know, I attended, and I think Patrick was there also, the VAMSA, the veterans little meeting that they had at the beach club, and they had a prisoner of war from Vietnam, a pilot, the longest serving prisoner of war, and was it 8 years?
Yeah, it was over 8 years.
Over 8 years. And what is astonishing is, you know, how old he is, and he outrun me. I mean, he just, it was pretty impressive. But they did a great job, had a bunch of speakers there. They're really, you know, starting to ramp up with their services, and I'm glad we're a part of that. And, you know, their board is very cognitive of what they're doing and how they're funding it. So kudos to VAMSA. Anybody that can help, please do. You know, it's for definitely a worthy cause. And that's it.
All right.
You may want to go first, Phil. I got a few.
Well, I just to pigtail on the contribution we made to the Wreaths Across America, I just want to throw this out there that if you've never gone to the day where they actually pick up the wreaths after the celebration is over and it's time to pick the wreaths up from the different cemeteries where they're laid, it's an amazing experience. The number of people that come out to be part of this program to pick up the wreaths, I would reach out to any of these organizations and find out what that date is, find the closest one to where you live, and go to that event when it comes to picking up the wreaths, because it really is an amazing experience to see.
But putting them down.
Huh?
Putting them down?
Well, obviously putting them down, but I'm just, the picking up and the number of people that come out.
Really?
It's amazing.
Good.
That's all I have.
Okay. So I'm going to do the ugly first, work backwards to the good.
Thank you.
So earlier tonight, we had a budget work session. I doubt the 4 people that tuned in really got the gist of what we were talking about, but a few things from the state, from my other duties for this year. Looking at some very disturbing news has come out of the state in the last probably 7 days. We kind of thought we were going to steer clear of any tax hikes next year or budget turmoil and all that, but unfortunately, Tuesday or Monday, whatever, it was announced that the state is looking at another $1.5 billion deficit in the budget going into next year, which is going to lead to probably a lot more cost being shifted to counties that the counties will now have to absorb, and or raising taxes and fees again. Not a lot of good news on that front. And that does not include any of the effects of the government shutdown and what that may affect in terms of income taxes and things like that across the state. The other thing that came out that was very disturbing is that the Key Bridge that was going to be done in 2028 and cost $2 billion is now not going to be done until 2030, and it's going to cost $5.6 billion, which I don't know who estimated that originally, but they should be fired, and a lot of other things. I mean, that's just crazy. Not only the time that we're going to be out of commission with that bridge, which, as a Queen Anne's County resident, we all should be disturbed about because of the excess traffic that we see coming southbound on 301 because of the lack of that bridge right now. And we all feel it, whether you're in North County, South County, it doesn't matter. We all see it every day. So something that did come out that's kind of promising on the energy front, and I know Jay Falstad brought up some of that about the NDA stuff, and I agree with him 100%. No county should succumb to special interests or money to get something done that is definitely should be in the public's eye and for public notification and public approval or disapproval. But one thing that came out is there was a meeting of multi-states within the PJM. For those that don't know what the PJM is, that is the grid operator for the 13-state conglomerate, which is the ones that basically set the rates based on how they are able to transmit energy to your homes. And the states have drafted a multi-state, I want to say it's 5, 6, I didn't get to read the article, it was right before I came here, 5 or 6 state conglomerate of legislators who are putting forth a bill, or I guess a request more so, of PJM that if any of these data centers come into your area and they want to come online, they have to bring their own power with them. And if they don't bring their own power with them, if there was to be a large demand scenario, that those centers that did not bring their own power with them or create their own power in some way, shape, or form would be the first thing shut down within the grid so that the citizens would not be affected by large demands that are created by them. The number in the article said that by 2030, the increase in energy needed in this area would be 32 gigawatts, of which 30 gigawatts of that will be absorbed by data centers. So that tells you there's not a whole lot of growth outside of that in the commercial or residential area. So that's kind of good news that they're pushing back, because the biggest thing that's happened, and a lot of you, if anybody's paid an electric bill in the last year and a half, they haven't gone down. And right now, they want to cap how much they can go up. That's one of the requests. So it's going to be, it's something everybody should watch and get involved in commenting on it when you see that it comes out for public comment, and make your voice be heard. Because quite frankly, by 2030, 30 gigawatts to construct the backbone and the infrastructure you need to push that energy out, I can't even imagine the dollar figure that's going to be. And guess who pays that? The ratepayers, ultimately. So something to keep an eye on. Also, I wanted to share, our watermen all gathered down in Delmarva recently to have a big get-together because they're trying to fight back against the quotas that are trying to be put on our charter fishermen here in the Bay. Spoke out. It was a great turnout, and they actually won the day and were able to hold the status quo on it. And then they were able to give all the commissioners a nice hat to represent that day. So I know you got one, and you can thank Pete Ricardo for us all getting one, because if Phil brings his, make sure you all bring yours out to show him you got one. So there you go. Because somehow he called me up and he said, I know how Phil is with hats he gets free. So
Oh, yeah. He does enjoy his hats.
yeah, he does. He likes to show them off. And then finally, real quick, just on a personal note, I'm very happy to say and congratulate my son and now daughter-in-law, as I was able to attend their wedding over the weekend. And more importantly, there were guarantees of more grandbabies. So that's really all I was there for, was to make sure the grandbabies were going to continue to happen. So, and secondly, go Lions football, huh? Friday night, Dunbar, on their way to quarterfinals. So, and finally,
At home or away?
that is at Dunbar. At Dunbar, yeah. And finally, you guys all missed it. Happy Thanksgiving, because we will not be here before the holiday. So everybody out there, have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy family, friends, and yes.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Come up.
Can't hear you.
That way they can get you on
Yeah,
the
we gotta
mic for
get
people
you
who
on
are
the
watching.
TV.
We want to get you on TV.
Sure.
Can we rewind back to the Key Bridge situation and the cost?
Yes.
Does anybody know what the amount of the company that destroyed the bridge?
Oh.
How much are they being held accountable? How much do they have to contribute to the repair of the bridge? It sounds, every time we hear numbers, it sounds like the state of Maryland, just the state of Maryland, is to take care of the whole cost of it. When you have a car accident and it's not your fault, it's the person who caused the accident's fault, and they have to pay. I don't see much difference with this situation.
So, in maritime law, if you have an accident or a fatality occurs with the boat, they're insulated up to generally the cost of the vessel that caused the incident. So they're gonna get away with probably not paying very much unless they can find some other angle on it.
Oh, so maritime law.
Maritime law applies since it was in the waters, yeah. That's my understanding, is that they're gonna get away with not paying $5 billion. Doesn't seem fair, does it?
No?
No.
I was just wondering, because every time they talk about those numbers, it's like, okay, Maryland has to pay the whole thing? You know, they're not gonna be held accountable.
Right now, the federal government's paying for the whole thing right now. The whole project right now is
Federal highway
funded.
money.
Right.
Okay.
They'll have to sue back. I mean, they're gonna try to sue, right? I would imagine.
Yeah.
They'll try to
Yeah,
do
but
whatever they can to
The amount
recoup
there
it.
is gonna be,
yeah.
and they're always insulated.
Yeah, it's not good news. I didn't have really, that's why I started with the bad news first. I knew it wasn't gonna be, I was trying to make it better, so.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so if anybody's available, Thursday, there is a town hall at the library, community conversation, 6 o'clock, on land use, real estate development. Everybody always has questions, and they go to social media for the answers about development.
And those
Give you a
answers are never
spoiler alert
right.
for Thursday, you're gonna find out that social media is wrong about a lot, particularly when it comes to development. But come and you'll learn how the development process works, all the federal, state, and local laws that apply.
QAC Channel 7 will have it, will be there.
QAC will be there. QAC has a
So if you
series
can't
of
physically
videos.
be there, tune in.
There will be replays of all the videos later on, so everybody can find out what does the Planning Commission do, what does the Board of Appeals do, everything, so that you understand how the process works. It's very involved and complex process.
You mean it's not us to say yes or no to any project?
That'd be fun. Yeah, it would be just a lot easier, but it is not. That's one of the things you learn about social media being wrong.
Commissioner, according to Grok, the company that owned the Dali Singapore ship that hit the bridge and knocked it down, has agreed to a $101 million federal civil lawsuit.
Yeah. It's
They
probably the
paid,
ship.
they're agreeing to $101 million for a $5 billion bridge.
Yeah. Pretty good deal. All right, motion adjourned.
Pete said you can have it. Motion adjourned.
All in favor?
Second, favor, yes.
Or adjourned.
It's a hole in the wall.